Hey world, hey universe. I'm so happy to be back here today with all of you. And indeed, I didn't want to do an episode this week also, but I think there is a reason much higher, deeper, and beyond as why I'm here. And today, it's not about sharing any message, it's more about sharing the sort of emotions and feelings that I've currently got at this moment. Okay, like last week we discussed about the need to have intimate connections, like deep connections, the sort of relationships where you can be so open, honest, and then you can just be yourself without the need for any mask, and still you will not be judged, right? So Mahatri also told this morning that you need to have such connections where you can be psychologically naked, just be you, and still you will not be judged. So I lost one such intimate friend, okay, this week. And so overwhelming emotions, unanswered questions, sort of like I think it happens with all these, I think, loss of loved ones, right, with death experiences. And so what is special about Raji? Okay, so when we meet a person for the first time, especially someone in the teacher or professor position, you automatically form a state of mind which is more respect oriented. Like, so she was my teacher, a strict teacher indeed, and Raji specialized in contact lenses, specialty lenses, especially complex issues where vision can be restored only with the type of specialty lenses that Raji would fit in. Like, she was an expert in that, she was world renowned. And so very much later after my graduation, like almost say I think 5 years almost, we started to interact casually at a professional level. And we figured out that there are like many things that values and likings that we have together in common. And at the surface level, I would be so amazed at the neatness of her attire, like all the time ironed and spick and span, and never once have I seen her wearing even the dupatta that is wrinkled. Okay, until the last day I saw her, I got totally inspired by her with this attire thing. And I would never go to the hospital without ironing my dress, and I'm wearing something that Raji really loves. Okay, and of course, as a person very organized, her table and room will speak volumes. I just adapted 50% of it, and it made a great difference to my life. And then, so how did we really get close, like from the teacher student relationship to a professional relationship? How did we really get close? And I understood this only after we lost her. And then I've told this many times, like over the last few episodes, about a time in my life, like almost 6 years back, when I was completely out of balance. Like I indeed very much sort of had a clinical diagnosis of depression, was on medications, including sleeping pills. My emotions were all over the place. It would show as anger, frustration, isolation, and people were indeed making fun of all these. When I think of it now, like how ruthless the world has been in dealing with mental health. And one such episode was like we were a group of people eating, and together Raji was there with us, and all of a sudden I get too emotional. I just cry and then leave, walk away from that place. Okay, no idea like what really hit me hard, but I just became totally out of control, and I cried, I left the place. And Raji had never known any issues of my mental health until then. So she stepped into my room and she held my hands, and she did not leave it after that moment. Not even one word, okay, I shared with her, went out of that room, and I had found my soulmate. So from then on, any sort of emotional turbulence, I would rush into her cabin, and slowly these emotions kind of like started to get converted to emotions of joy and more balanced sort of emotions, like not jumping between the sky and earth. One hug, one smile, and one word. Okay, I started to run marathons inspired by Raji, because those sort of physical activities help you to get out of all these emotional turbulences, and that's how I started to run marathons. So fast forward to 2018, Raji gets diagnosed with the rare form of cancer. And then like after we both returned from a official US trip, she would call me every time she goes for any consultation. Okay, like not for anything, but for that hug, for the word of comfort. and indeed I felt very valued and loved, okay, under her presence. So when I had started this vlogging, this YouTube channel, I was expecting her to give me some comments, but almost like I finished 3 episodes, Raji didn't respond. So I called her and I asked, Raji ma'am, like, did you see my this thing, like my channel, any feedback? And then she said, Riz, I had the same sort of idea that you had, so I want to start my vlogging, my YouTube channel, especially to share this journey of my cancer. I didn't want to see your content, so that I don't want to get biased. She said conflict of interest, and she laughed. I think later she picked herself up, and then she started to see my content week after week, and she would give me feedback. Every time she bounced back after the treatment, we would celebrate, in the sense like, just we will speak everything positive about the whole thing, and until things started to worsen again. And I think even now, I think it was Raji who made the decision. So a couple of days before Raji made the final journey, we had a beautiful conversation. She messaged right after the conversation saying, like, I want to talk again, Riz. And then we spoke, okay, and I sensed something very terrible, and she left peacefully on the night of 15th July with a smile on her face. So what is that I understood about this whole process of grieving? Maybe I am learning to process my own emotions. Maybe I'm getting to know actually what is grief all about. But I'll tell you one thing, okay? People say different things about loss and grief. They say loss happens, they say you need to mourn, cry, and then get out of it to routine. And then they say time is a healer. I agree, totally I agree with everything. But this is my question. Are we processing the grief? So what do I mean by that? Are we taking the time to sit in silence, take that solace in our own emotions, cry our heart out, just out of the love, think about this person and look at the ways they have contributed to everyone's life, think of ways to honor this person and celebrate their life, ways to support their family emotionally and spiritually. It's very important, right? But many times I think we kind of run away from grief. I'll tell you, especially sometimes people may not understand your loss, like that does not stop you from grieving. Sometimes people can even make fun, like that's still okay. I think that is their immaturity. People can think that it is realistic to start your day-to-day activities and start doing your routine so that you get a chance to forget everything. But if that's what you want to do, it's still fine. But this is not just about the sadness. It's not about getting depressed and crying. It's about understanding the impermanence of life and still be able to come to terms with it by processing the grief. I think each one of us have our own ways to do it, but let us do it. Let us not run away from it, okay? Let's not adapt the herd mentality. It's not about, as I said, like not about getting depressed. It's about understanding what this loss means to you, how you want to process it further, taking lessons from this and becoming more kind, compassionate, spiritually aligned, and stay in silence to honor the beautiful soul without again jumping into mundane activities of daily living and some sort of busyness that will swallow and engulf us. And think about our own death. How do we want our loved ones to process our loss? Like, do you want them to finish the formalities and forget your presence? Just think about it. Like, leave aside all external achievements and accolades, awards, honors, positions, power. What sort of person do you want to be known as? Okay, Kevin Kelly, the writer and founding editor of Wired magazine. So when he speaks about living a meaningful life, he says, before you're old, attend as many funerals as you can bear and listen. Nobody talks about the departed's achievements. The only thing people will remember is what kind of person you were while you were achieving. I think to me, Raji epitomized motherhood, evolution of like the evolving consciousness, like how a person can become aware of their own flaws. Okay, she would share the journey as how she managed her own emotions, and then she was able to correct it. the strength, kindness, resilience, woman empowerment, exponential achievement, like what someone would take to achieve in 40 years, she did in 20 years. And most importantly, being humane. She kept herself in great shape, and she was very conscious of what really went inside her mouth. So every time I go to her room, I come out not just filled in soulfully and then and intellectually, but also tummy wise, because she would give me all the healthy foods, walnuts and figs and everything to eat. And she knew the pain behind someone's silence. Okay, so I want to take my own sweet time to process this. I will celebrate Raji in every possible way, like how I'm celebrating my grandmother and my parrot, like by wearing the sort of neat dress, by keeping my table clean, by fighting for my rights but with kindness, by ignoring negativity, by learning to let go. And I will happily shed my tears out in her memory. And I think that is the way that I'm able to honor my contact lens queen. Okay, and it was so amazing to see the courage and strength her husband, okay, was holding within. So we had a long chat when Raji's physical remains were burning. They were turning into sacred ashes. And so on that day, and even today, when I was talking to Mr. Ganesh, so he was telling like this. He said, please share to everyone, especially women, the awareness about health, getting your examinations done, especially at 30 and 40 years of age. And that's what Raji would have wanted. So let us take time to process our grief, stay aligned with our highest values despite what the world throws at us, and keep ourselves deeply connected to our loved ones wherever they are. And please keep Raji and her family in your prayers. And signing off with infinite love, gratitude, and bliss. This is yours, Riz. Let the soul speak.